And we had a little slight hiccup earlier, but I believe that we are going to be okay now. And so we're back to our health and wellness summit for all of you who are joining us. We have a great lineup of folks today. A little bit later on, she was supposed to be on early, but we're a little bit later on. We're going to see Mona Ostrowski. She's going to talk to us about life with Mona and give us a little insight on how to live well. And coming up right now, we're going to talk to the herbalist, Carleen Reid from Earth to Elementals. And she's going to give us a few natural remedies to help us out during, to keep us healthy and knowledgeable about what we put in our bodies. Following that is going to be Frank Coppola. He's going to be coming on and talking about focus, helping us to stay focused in this time, and also accomplishing our goals in health. And then finally, after that, we have Chef Bia Melissa, and she's going to give us a few food remedies and recipes that we can make that are healthy and keeping us in shape. So it's a great lineup. Then we have Frank coming back to us again. So we have a great lineup again today. We're glad that you all are watching. Again, a lot of our programs are going to be streamlined through Roku and Amazon TV on our own personal channel, Phoenix National Network. All right, so keep an eye out for that we should be launching that in November. And so a lot of our programs are going to be featured on there. Those of you who would like to be sponsors to any of these programs, you want your advertisement to go around the world, yes, it would be international. Yeah, just give me a call at 914-297-7624, or you could go to our website at phoenixnationalbusinessgroup.com. Be a part of our team, and just we work well together. We love working with each other, and we are looking for folks who are motivated in also working together as well. So without further ado, we're going to welcome our presenter for today, Carleen. It's in your hands.
Hey, how are you?
All right.
Well, I'm going to do a repeat performance in terms of talking about stress management. And first, I want to make clear that I am a herbalist. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, and I'm not a nutritionist. But what I want to talk to you today about is managing stress with herbs. And when we talk about stress, we're talking about the impact of stress on the body, how the body responds to stress. So let's first dive in. I am a gardener. I am a scent alchemist. I love working with scents to make perfume. It's one of the things that I do as well. And I believe that scents can transform, heal, relax, mesmerize, and comfort. And that's one of the things that you get the benefit from when you work with plants. Now, I also believe that herbs have the ability, or plants, let's say plant, because the big talk today is plant medicine, plant-based diet, but plants have the ability to treat people while pharmaceuticals are specifically created to treat disease. And the reason we can say that is that the plants have a life form of their own. They don't walk and talk like humans, but they do communicate. And there are constituents in the plants that when you consume it, when you smell it, it has the ability to heal the body. And that works for us in ways, because we eat vegetables. And we eat vegetables because we're able to transform the life form of the plant into our body system. So my disclaimer today, though, is that I've been trained as a herbalist. I've been doing herbal medicine studies for a while, but again, I'm not a physician, so I don't diagnose. I don't have a medical license. I don't treat medical illnesses or prescribe medication. What I do is I consult with you to help you, in some cases, advocate for the care that you need, as well as I help you to understand how the herbs work with your body to support you in ways that your body system may need support. Hang on a second. So when we talk about stress, we're going to define what stress is. And stress typically is a physical, chemical, or emotional factor that causes bodily or mental tension and may be a factor in disease causation. So when you experience stress, the body experiences a set of responses to the tensions that are occurring, and there are responses that occur in your body system. What happens, it's supposed to be a temporary process that the body goes through, and then after the stress passes, the body is able to come back to normal. But what is happening today is that we're experiencing stress factors upon stress factors. And so the body is not getting that time it needs to go back to normal. And so you're going from having acute experiences of stress to prolonged chronic stress experiences. So what that does, it takes the body and the brain through certain demands, and it instigates bodily responses, which turns on certain systems and turn off certain body systems. So hormones are secreted in response to a stressful event, and then some are turned off. So your digestion is one of them that gets turned off. The sexual system gets turned off. Nobody needs to be thinking about sex during stress. So that gets turned off. So you have less oxytocin. But one of the things that is demanded during stress incidents is insulin and blood sugar. And what happens then is that the body system, the breath is rapid and shallow. So one of the things when you're experiencing stress, you tend not to breathe deep. You have shallow breathing. Your liver pulls the glycogens from storage and converts them to sugar for extra energy. And then your blood is described as being sugar rich at this particular time. And then your brain needs extra oxygen and glucose so that you can improve your short-term focus and memory, which tells you your brain uses sugar, glucose, when on a normal basis. And then when there's too much of it, then the brain matter can shrink. And this is how we now have a term referring to diabetes 3, where your house, so your body, consider your body a house, and it's great for getting out of a house on fire, but it's not great when the body is the system that is on fire. Because if your brain is constantly getting sugar at this level, the adrenals are going, your thyroid is pumping, your liver is working, all the sugar is in your blood, then your body system is operating in this fight or flight mode that does not need to happen consistently. It's not meant to work that way. So again, the body system shuts down when you're under heavy chronic stress or prolonged stress. And because the food that's in your body system, when you eat during stress, it remains undigested. It sits in that tract without being properly processed. And like I said, in a prolonged experience like this, you can have incidences of malabsorption, reabsorption, as well as brain fog and adrenal fatigue, because your body's getting so much adrenaline that you're tired and you seem to be working in deficit all the time. So what happens with malabsorption is that the food sits in the body, you're eating healthy, but your body's not able to properly absorb it because the digestive system is off. What happens in reabsorption is when it gets moments of being able to go through the cycle of digestion, you're not able to properly eliminate. So dead food sits, or waste matter sits in the intestine, and then your body tries to reabsorb it. And this is how you have certain cancers occurring. And then your immunity, which we're all talking about right now, gets compromised because your digestion, your gut health is all tied to, your intestines and your gut health is all tied to your immunity, right? So one of the things about defending your digestive system is to protect your immune system as well. And one of the things about taking care of yourself is eating properly, but not eating heavy meals when you're stressed. Trying a few exercises like breathing deep, yoga, some people turn to get your body to a more relaxed state so that you can digest your food properly. Eating food while you're heavily stressed is not healthy for you. So sometimes that's where people talk about fasting. But you can't really fast when you're stressed because there's so much anxiety. So it's all about bringing the body back into balance. So some of the herbs that are indicated for healthy digestion they fall into a couple of categories. The prebiotic herb, which is the herbs that help the body to manipulate the microbes in the intestine, and they're there for the benefit of you, the host. You're the host to those microbes that are in your intestine. And watch your use of antacids during this period, because the antacid is killing the good bacteria and the bad bacteria, and it can eventually lead to holes within the stomach. And so you also have another category called the carminative herbs, which promotes digestion by leading to less cramping and bloating and gas. And then the bitter herbs stimulate the digestive system by allowing bile to secrete. So when you take bitter herbs and you put it in your mouth, immediately you have this heavy, depending on the intensity of the taste, you get this secretion of bitters all over the mouth, of saliva, all over the mouth, in the back of your mouth, in the corners, where your body is saying, oh, wow, yes, I'm going to start the digestive system growing so that there's more bile to help me process the food that I need to process. The herbs that fall into these categories, we have dandelion root, chicory, garlic as our prebiotic. So which is why people talk about cooking with garlic, mixing the garlic with onions, so that when you're eating your food, you're actually consuming that garlic. And in our culture here in the Caribbean, people actually steep some garlic in water and drink that water. The carminative herbs, which were for supporting the digestive process, your typical bitters, peppermint, lavender, chamomile, orange peel. And then the herbs that are more on the bitter side, again, some herbs fall into two categories. That's good. You have motherwort, orange peel, ginger, and dandelion root, hyssop as well. And these are herbs that you use according to what your needs are. Like I said before, when you look at the herb, are you looking for something to help you with your intestinal health, prebiotic? Are you looking for something that helps to promote digestion, carminative? And then are you looking for a bitter herb that encourages digestive secretion, which is, let me get the juices going within the intestinal system to support my digestive system, and some of them have the ability to repair certain issues in the gut. For those people on medications, you have to be careful. If you are on Coumadin, statin, some of these herbs have some contraindications, and so therefore you need to see your doctor. You need to see a doctor that is trained in integrative medicine to guide you through this process. You can't just go out and take certain things because you have pre-existing issues that have you taking some very serious medication. So see your doctor, understand what he has to say about how you can use this particular herb, how you need to monitor yourself. But don't think because you're on it, you can't take it. I'm not recommending you take it until you speak to your physician. But I want you to understand that a healthy body system is important for your immune system, and managing your stress, which you can manage through breathing exercises, massage therapy, aromatherapy, inhaling the smell of lavender helps to release some of the tension in your neck. Actually creating an environment where you create a bath made with different scents also is a way of relaxing the body. Turning off the TV. So, and also one of the things is to give your digestive system a break. You know, we talk about intermittent fasting, but one of the things you can do if you're not a person who knows how to fast is after 6 o'clock in the evening until 6 o'clock in the morning, don't eat anything, drink water. Once you've had a full meal at, let's say, 5, and you've had that hour for the food to digest, if you feel like snacking, drink water. Drink it at room temperature. You'll be surprised what that will do for your body as well. Make sure you're getting sleep. Sleep is a big factor in managing stress. If you're not experiencing deep sleep that allows the brain and the body to heal, then you need to understand what is stopping you from sleeping. If you have the rat wheel, that, you know, the rat and the wheel, think Bugs Bunny, and it's constantly on the wheel and never, your brain doesn't shut off. So you fall asleep for 2 hours, you wake up for 4, and then when you fall asleep and get up to go to work, you're still tired. You need to be able to turn that rat wheel off. It's very important, and that's where I say get a lavender sleep pillow. If you need herbal support, then there are other things that you can take for herbal support to help you to stay asleep, because you have to go through the sleep cycle, the early stage REM, deep sleep, for the body to repair and restore itself. I hope that this has been helpful to somebody. If you have any questions, my contact information is available through Philip, and you can reach out to me. I am available for consultations. Thank you.
I have a question, Carleen.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we're so bombarded with different choices of, even within our I want to say business with the health and wellness, like we're so bombarded with choices, and you know, a lot of products promises a lot of things, and you know, you can read on the label organic, but you know, my question is like, how do we choose like the best? How do we know what is the best product to choose? Like,
right.
Well, yeah.
Right. Because one of the things that happens is, even with pharmaceuticals, one drug does not suit everybody. So not
Right.
because metformin worked for one person means it's going to work for you. Same thing is true with herbs. You have to, and this is one of the things about seeing a herbalist or having a doctor that is an integrative medicine physician, is that they're a little bit more aware of what your body's constitution is. They're more aware of what needs to happen for you, because some people, their body system runs cold, and there are certain herbs that are applicable when that body system runs cold. Some people, they're running hot. And so you don't need, for instance, if you're a woman and you're premenopausal, you have, you know, hormones are shifting because your period is going away. So one of the things is you're starting to experience hot flashes and different things at night when you go to sleep. Now, I wouldn't tell somebody who's premenopausal necessarily, and having digestive issues to take ginger at night because it makes you hot. Because when you taste it, it makes you hot, it makes you sweat. You're sweating already. So now I'm just compounding the issue. So what you have, one of the things to understand what works for a particular person is to understand the person's constitution, which comes back to herbs treat people. You're treating the person. I'm looking at the whole person and saying, what does this person need? Whereas when you look at disease management, we're saying, what is the protocol that we follow for treating a particular disease? And we're not discounting doctors because they're necessary. But one of the things I like about the Italian way of treating cancer and even Israel is that they don't just give you chemotherapy. They give you a test that first says which method of treatment is likely for you to survive. So once you have that test and it says this is the path you need to take to survive cancer treatment, that's the protocol they follow. And their survival rate is higher than the United States. Whereas here, because we have chemotherapy, this therapy, that therapy, we always go with chemo without understanding, can the person that you're treating survive the path of therapy you're taking? And so which is why you personally have to advocate for your own health.
Yeah.
You have to be your own. Your doctor is not your health advocate.
Yeah, I keep saying that the doctors are sick care specialists, not healthcare specialists. We are the healthcare specialists with what we do on a daily basis. So when they say healthcare, I'm like, that's not healthcare. I only go to the doctor when I'm sick.
Yeah.
So my healthcare is what I eat, how much I sleep, what reducing stress and everything else. That's healthcare. If we can get that mind shift going, that would be a big help.
And you need to talk to your doctor about what you think your path of therapy is, because I've spoken to several people who have gone into cancer treatment fully feeling like this is not right for me. And not saying a word. That is the crazy part. It's your body, it's your body system. And if you don't feel this is right for you, why are you entrusting somebody else to do what they think is right?
Because we're taught to follow directions of whatever expert tells us what to do without question. And that is a big problem because most doctors get about a half hour worth of nutrition in their medical studies.
Training,
so like to say, if all you have is a hammer, the whole world looks like a nail.
Yeah.
So they're treating you from their point of view, from what they learned in an allopathic medical school, and not a complete medical school that goes the whole holistic medical protocol. So that's why I have both an allopathic doctor and a biomolecular doctor. So I go to one to get all my tests done, and then I go to the other one to interpret the tests rather than have the allopathic doctor interpret the test.
I listen to both just to support Oscar in that. I listen to both. And actually, my physician that I trust is trained in Chinese medicine as well as allopathic medicine. So she always gives me both opinions. And I always go for the one that my gut says, this is right for you.
So my final question to you, Carleen, is where do your services come as far as helping someone get from point A to point B health-wise?
Well, what I try to do, it depends on, because I try to meet the person's need according to what they describe to me, as well as what I can offer. So as a herbalist, I'm able to help guide you select the herbs that will work. But sometimes what you need to do is change your lifestyle. So in some ways, I come across as a health coach. And in some ways, I come across as a nutritionist. Like I said, I don't have the certification for either one. But what I do is guide you. I have a program that I guide you through, which teaches people about real food versus what is not real food. Because I find that that's the biggest struggle. People are like, what do I eat? You've just told me not to eat everything that I eat all the time. So it's about educating the individual about what is real and what is not real. And then even with the food that's real, understanding, does it work for you? Because I can tell you kale is a super vegetable and you should eat it raw. But if you don't have the enzymes in your intestine to digest it, I need to teach you how to recognize that. I need to tell you if you need to consume it because you need that extra K, do you need to cook it? Do you need to eat it raw? What are the signs that you are not digesting it? And what you need to do with it. And then if your digestion is off, there are some recommendations that I can make in terms of bitters, in terms of carminative herbs, and you don't always have to have it in tea form. There's so many ways, and if you don't like taking pills, there are liquid forms as well. And there's some good supplements out there that you can just add to water before you go to bed, and sometimes when you get up in the morning, and it works. I give an example of my mom, which is typical of people too.
Right.
She fits two categories.
Mhm.
She had been on high blood pressure medication for over 20 years. And the doctor put her on high blood pressure medication because she was stressed when my father died. Which today, if she had gone to a traditional integrative physician, they would have said, no, let's get you through this cycle in your life, teach you how to manage your stress before we put you on this medication. Anyway, after 20 years, I worked with her for so she was on it for 20 years and we worked together for a year. So the other thing is changing your lifestyle is not, I take a pill and it's over. It takes effort, it takes work. And a lot of times people say, so what can you give me for this? It doesn't, herbalism doesn't work like that. It works where you have to make the effort to make the lifestyle change to see the benefit. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that
go ahead, Oscar.
Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about thoughts become things. Our thoughts create a chemical physical response in our bodies.
Right.
So when you're stressed, your body chemical is fight or flight.
Right.
So it's not in rebuilding and making your body healthy. It's just to survive the next 5 seconds so the tiger doesn't eat you.
Right.
So when you're stressed, you're not building healthy cells. You're
depleting.
You're depleting them because there's no reason to fix your liver if you're going to be dead in 5 seconds from the tiger. So your body makes that distinction like, okay, we're in stress, we have to survive. We can't fix anything because it won't help. So like you said, you can, she's on high blood pressure medication because of stress.
Right.
So get rid of the stress and your body comes back to a normal state where it can repair.
Right.
And that's and living in, living now through COVID, everybody is stressed more than before. And if you're in New York, New Jersey, up in the East Coast, we don't wake up in the morning unless we're stressed. And now there's another level of stress.
Right.
So how do you de-escalate that amount of stress? Meditation, the right herbs,
right. The right foods, because if you're stressed, you don't need to be eating greasy foods, processed, all that stuff.
Well,
all of that is just going to sit in your intestine. And then when you're done, you're going to say, doctor's going to say, oh, I see a mass.
Yes.
But the mass is there because you're not eliminating. And sometimes if you catch those things early enough and you do the right thing, it will go away by itself. It doesn't happen for everybody, but it has happened enough in my experience to know you don't have to run to chemotherapy first. You just have to know what you need to do and you have to stick to it. let me tell you the story. So we worked together for a year, and I took cow's milk out of her diet. I took out cheese. I took out, I put in almond milk, coconut milk, and coconut oil. Those were the only changes I made. And then I would give her a cup of motherwort in the morning and one in the evening. After 1 year, she went to her physician, and he took her off of metformin and high blood pressure medication. In fact, he reduced it to a water pill, which was 12.5% versus 42.5%. And I said to her, if we take out some of the other things out of your diet, you can be completely off of medication. She was so happy. Guess what she did? She celebrated by eating food she hadn't had in a long time, which moved us back on the spectrum. And now she's trying to, once you've gotten the benefit of what you need to get, try and stick to it, because repeating the cycle the second time is harder than when you did it the first time.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome. Great. Great suggestions for all of you. If you'd like some more information as to the services that Carleen offers, you can go to earth2elementals.com, earth2elementals.com, and you can find more information about getting healthy through natural causes. Coming up next is the infamous, the famous Frank Coppola, and he's going to be talking to us about how to fix our focus. Stay tuned for that. We're so glad that you're watching, and we will see you